Check us out on Smiley.com. Purchase more merchandise from us. And without further ado, Councilman J.B. Smiley Jr. Everybody.
Can we just give it up for Kyle Mosley? He's 19 years old. He's extremely engaged. I'm gonna tell you who I am. My resume would tell you that I'm a lawyer, licensed in 3 states. It would tell you that I'm a lifelong Democrat, serving in various capacities as Judicial Counsel for the Young Democrats of America, Vice Chairman of the Black Caucus of the Young Democrats of America, Executive Committee of the Shelby County Democratic Party, General Counsel to the Tennessee Young Democrats. And I could go on and on about how long I've been serving this party. 34, so I've been doing it ever since the days of my youth, right? My resume will also tell you that I'm a small business owner. I've been had the luxury of having a business with my father, buying dilapidated property, doing everything I can to build it back up. But that's not who I am at all. The core of who I am the product of a Mississippi sharecropper who grew up extremely poor. My father did not have the luxury of using an indoor restroom until he turned 18. So what that means, he would go outside the house. And then, when it's time to take a bath, we use the number 3 tub. Now, for those of you who don't know what number 3 tub is, I'm going to explain it to you. He would go outside, hey, how are you so happy? Go outside to the well, pump the water, get the water, come back in and put it in the number 3 tub. But he was as small as he was the youngest. So when it came time for him to take the bath, imagine what the color of that water was. It wasn't so pretty. My mother, her circumstances were not much better. She grew up in the poorest zip code in the state of Tennessee, in the projects of Memphis. So at the core of me, I am the product of 2 individuals who grew up extremely poor. My father's steps are getting shorter now. He's older. He has congestive heart failure, so I find myself always recounting the stories that he told me. And one of the things he told me, he is an Army guy, had the opportunity to serve in the Vietnam War. 2 things he told me, and when I was young, I really didn't want to listen to him much, but now they mean a lot to me. He would tell me, never forget the bridge that brought you over. What he was telling me then was, when you go off to school and learn something, you better come back home. I said, I don't know about that, Pops. I don't know what I'm going to do. You see where I am, back home. And the second thing that he told me was service before self. When I was young, I really didn't understand what he was talking about. But now I realize that he was telling me it's always about people. I'll tell you a quick story. In 2006, there was a young man who decided to run for statewide office. He started getting calls from all the big national Democrats. He got a call from Nancy Pelosi. I think we know Nancy. He got a call from Chuck Schumer. I think we know Chuck. And they were saying, if you're going to run for statewide office in Tennessee, don't waste your time going all over the state. You only go to 5 counties, you're going to win in Tennessee. So he listens because he's talking to the big Democrats, right? They told him, you go to Shelby County. He said, I think I'll be okay in Shelby. They told him to go to Madison County. He said, I'll be okay in Madison. They told him to go to Davis and Knox. And if you have time, stop in Hamilton County. He listened, and after they finished telling him how to win in Tennessee, although they're not from Tennessee, he said, well, start scratching his head. I don't necessarily know if I can do that because it's hypocritical. Because when I put my name on that ballot, I made a promise to represent everyone, from the homeless to the homeowner. And I would not be doing myself any service or the people of Tennessee any service if I only go to 5 counties. So we're going to go everywhere. And if that's what it's going to take for you to support us, you can keep your money. Now, you know it's real when someone tells you to keep your money. So one particular day, he goes all across the state. He ends up in East Tennessee. He gets there in this amazing crowd of about 5 people. He started thinking to himself, maybe Nancy and Chuck were right. And then he started talking to them. They were extremely motivated. They were talking about how they wanted to phone bank or door knocking, write letters to their friends. But he still started doubting himself. So at the end of the meet and greet, he starts to drive home. He gets hungry along the way. He gets to an exit. The exit reads, food stop here. He really wants this cheeseburger. He gets a little bit closer, and he sees a sign of a restaurant. The restaurant reads, The Little Rebel. He starts to think to himself, maybe I'm in the wrong place. He gets off the exit, gets a little bit closer. Right below the Little Rebel sign, there's a huge Confederate flag. And he tells the team, I know I'm in the wrong place now. He gets a little bit closer, pulls into the parking lot, gets out of the car, and looks at the bumper stickers. The bumper stickers read, you can only get these guns from my cold, dead pants. He said, y'all, I don't even know if I need to go in at this point. Never mind that. He does something that each and every one of us must do. He went into the restaurant. He gets there. No one looks like him in the crowd. And I heard someone say that the folks in there did not necessarily speak the King's English the proper way. Never mind any of that. He sits down at the counter, starts having a conversation with the gentleman next to him. He gets up, moves over, starts having a conversation with the next person. There's a group of women sitting in the room as well. He gets up, goes, sits at the table, has conversations with them. 20 minutes go by, he gets his burger, he starts making his way to the door. And before he gets to the door, the very first person he had a conversation with says, hey, Harold. Now, if you don't know who I'm talking about Congressman Harold Ford Jr.'s run for United States Senate in 2006. If you've had an opportunity to see Harold in action, he never messed up subject-verb agreement. He was always put together well. Could never met a stranger. So he was never off. But this particular day, the guy caught him by surprise. Harold says, how may I help? And the gentleman said, well, I'm going to vote for you. Harold is completely shocked, so he says something that you would never hear politicians say. Why? And the gentleman said, well, you see, sat down at this counter, didn't assume that we're going to vote any particular way, and we're all getting these envelopes. That you sit down at the table and you didn't assume we're going to vote any particular way, but you got to know us as people. Harold gets excited about what he heard. He goes to the door, and before he leaves, everyone in the restaurant stands up and echoes the same sentiment. Harold steps out the restaurant. He started thinking to himself, he's on this. The reason I'm telling you this story is the same. I realized that's the same thing that my father was telling me since the days of my youth. It's always about people. When I ran for office the first time for city council and was elected, I always told people that my job is going to be really simple.